Welcome back, everyone on YouTube. I'm gonna give you like a little bit of a review of what I think of the Battleship movie. For those of you who want to get a little fair warning, this might actually contain a little bit of spoilers. So if you didn't see the movie, I suggest you either go to a theater or wait for the DVD to come, and then look back on my YouTube channel to see my review. For those of you who've seen it, which apparently most of you did, then I suggest you better sit tight and let me explain a few things. Now, I've got to admit, I'm sort of a little bit of a guilty party. I kind of seen Battleship twice, but they were both under once for my father, being that he never plays the Battleship board game, and another for my cousin Roberto, or Robert, in Miami, because he never saw Battleship and he wanted to see it with me. Both of which I was under protest because of one thing and one thing only. And I'm pretty sure you already know about that when I did my little rants. The plot. Basically the story is like a weapons specialist sailor or something that wants to marry the girl of the captain. And while on a bit of a training exercise, some sort of annual type of thing dealing with Navy Marines across the world, alien spaceships land and they start to attack. That's the one key thing that was wrong with the movie to begin with. Alien invasion. An alien invasion on a movie that's based on the board game. I've talked about this time and time about this stupid plot, and I did state that if they want to do a Battleship movie, the least they would have done is just take place in like a future World War III when the American Navy ships take on like a foreign country. My thoughts were kind of simple, being that Europe is out of the question. Like terrorist Navy soldiers in Afghanistan, or Navy South or North Korea, depending on what's been going on. The idea of putting together a plot which is a bit of a cookie cutter alien invasion is somewhat dumbed down to the point that it doesn't bring much depth into the Battleship board game at all. And it never really grasps the fact that adding an alien plot won't make the movie any good. One good example is, of course, the fourth Indiana Jones movie, which, of course, Indiana Jones is a big time movie series, with 1 through 3 being based around ancient artifacts and stuff like that. But the fourth installment they don't reveal that aliens exist until like at the near end. Of course, you might have already known by now that at the very beginning you start to picture together that aliens are in this movie. So yeah, basically kind of ruined the spoiler there. But I'm not talking about Indiana Jones. I'm supposed to be talking about Battleship and how it is. So, is the movie any good, even though the plot is sucking on an alien invasion? I say it's kind of fair. It looked pretty good. The action scenes were kind of unique, and the way they did the ship versus alien thing was pretty impressive. But still, it just doesn't grasp the attention of the audience unless you have action scenes into it. The characters were kind of a little bit one-dimensional on some occasions. Taylor Kitsch's main role is pretty unique when it comes to an action hero, but still, like what happened with John Carter, the movie it's somewhat of a Taylor Kitsch kind of curse, if you ask me. I think the main person that did a good job on this movie was, of course, Rihanna, the musician that that sells multiple platinum albums and stuff like that. She does a pretty good job in this type of role, and even though it does feel like that this is her first acting debut, I do believe the Battleship movie didn't kind of didn't grasp it on her behalf. Though she's good at acting, I can respect that. She does a good job being a tough girl, just like all the other tough girl women, like Angelina Jolie, or who else is a good actress that kicks a lot of ass. Oh, anyways, she does a good job as a bad girl. Still, I think her role in the Battleship movie kind of ruined it for her. She would have gone to like other types of roles, like, oh, I don't know, like the Avengers, like the girl on the ship. What was the girl's name? She was like a supporting character, not Black Widow, definitely not Black Widow. They already have to switch race between with Mr. Fury, so Fury and Samuel Jackson. So let's not make that worse as it is. But you would have had a better role in that movie than in this mess. There were the aliens. Well, let's just say the aliens do have a little bit of interest in them. Sure, the armor looks somewhat familiar to Master Chief's own in the Halo series, and when they remove their helmets, they look like a bunch of, and believe me, this is a spoiler warning, so I don't want to mess it up, alien hillbillies with spiky beards. Yeah, picture that for one quick second, and you begin to realize it. They're just an alien species with reptilian eyes and spiky beards that look like a bunch of backwatered hillbillies straight from the from either Duck Dynasty or fish hunting or stuff like that. But the aliens act like an official military personnel. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people would like to see aliens blowing stuff up, but these aliens, they're way more intelligent than the other alien species that they use in other movies that tend to let's just blow up the entire planet and show who's boss type issue. They have a different types of feeling. They do have different types of strategy. They rank in groups depending on their color. Orange could be scouts, blue could be engineers, the big silver ones could be the foot soldiers and stuff like that. They have like good strategic planning on their behalf. They minimize casualties, and their military weapons and their helmets and their hubs kind of brings you back to like a first-person shooter aspect, where they determine whether who is a potential threat or who is like an innocent civilian or lesser risk. Now I've got to admit that's pretty unique on how they how the movie predict those aliens. Very, very wise of them. Now, as far as a movie based on a board game goes, there are some interesting tidbits that pay homage to the board game entirely. Like, for example, with all their radar and scanners on the fritz, the only option they have is to use like some kind of buoy mapping, which shows off an entire grid of buoys in one go, and they mark down specific locations on where the aliens hit and launch them, i.e. which brings you back to the mapping of Battleship in its entirety. They even give out codes like E4 or D8 or F15 stuff just like the types of codes you need for the board game entirety. And indeed they put up a few extra things. extra letters and numbers just to widen the playing field. So yeah, that's pretty neat. And also the alien weapons, their missiles, and believe me when I say, I know you saw this in the trailer, but their missiles are sort of similar to the pegs in the Battleship board game, to an almost scary degree. And of course the ending of the movie where they have to re-engage with an old school battleship was pretty keen. It did have like old school veterans and doing a go at it, and of course some real World War II veterans would enjoy something like that in their honor. Now there is one simple thing that kind of let people miss it, but being that I usually watch movies, mostly action movies, I have to say this anyways, because it does favor the people who like to play the board game. Now there are movie critics and people who would state that they didn't say the line. You know the line that I'm talking about. You sunk my battleship. Well, actually they did have it, but it was a little rearranged. When the alien ship attacked the classic battleship, one actor states they're not gonna sink this battleship. Now I heard it clear as day, and it did make actual sense. I mean, sure it worded differently, but it was pretty nice that they had something like that into the mix. Ultimately, I say the movie had some good things about it and bad things. The main bad thing being the alien plot. And I'm pretty sure you're already fully aware, either you read the news or whatnot, that the Battleship movie didn't do well in box office records. Wow, didn't see that coming, did ya? You see, this is the basic problem for most movies. When you're dealing with hype, like a Battleship or Prometheus or the Avengers or even the revamped version of Spider-Man, you always have major risks in it. Either the movie's gonna be a big hit or a big bomb to begin with. Now, John Carter is a real good example, being that it also starred Taylor Kitsch. I mean, it showed like a lot of hype. Some people might want to see like the movie that every single sci-fi, fantasy, and whatnot kind of rip off. But it didn't do well, and even though it had great reviews, the audience didn't quite get connected with the movie in its entirety. Probably because most of them were Star Wars fans, and they might think that it was a Star Wars rip, but in reality, Star Wars ripped off John Carter. But the Battleship, I think everyone realized that it was bad, even whether it's the alien plot or the actors or how bad it might look under some occasions, and it does have it, and it never really grasped these people even to begin with. And believe me when I say it, the movie industry is trying really hard to bring people into theaters. There's one good example is the Battleship video game. Now, I'm not gonna say it myself. I did hear that the Battleship game was bad. It was pretty much a linear 4-hour FPS that doesn't have anything else. If you guys want to know about it, don't look at me. But if you go to Angry Joe channel and search Battleship, you might see what he thinks of it. And believe me, he doesn't like it as much as anyone else did. But see, in the actual box art cover, they have like somewhat of a movie coupon on a freaking box art, which means you give the box art itself to any movie theater, and you get the chance seeing Battleship and only Battleship. That's how desperate the Universal is in trying to bring people to theaters. That desperate. And guess where it got them? A bomb in their movie franchise, and a major pushback in their own little movie enterprise. Let me ask you guys something. You you ever wonder why both the Universal Studios parks have like rides based on shows and movies from other companies? Well, here's a good reason. Ever Universal never ever got a chance getting a big hit in the box office, and most of the classics, being that Back to the Future or King Kong or what else? Jaws are being shut down left to right, while other classics like E.T. are trying to grasp whatever life they have left. And that's the situation we are all in. Universal is trying too hard to make movies that people will enjoy, and no matter how hard they try, they won't reach up to its expectations. And with Marvel being Disney Studios and Warner Brothers trying their best to make DC comic movies irrelevant, it never has its. Universal can't and will not be able to get a big hit out of their movie franchise. Battleship was a major dent in their own problem. To be honest, I just hope Universal comes out of this mess to begin with. They had a chance on a really big hit movie, like straight up Lord of the Rings type, but either the board or some other individual decided to back off and try to make a video game movie of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. You know, that comic book. And I guess where it got them. A big box office dud which pretty innovative at once, but people decided to see the Expendables because, hey, big actors with guns. I hope Universal can be able to recover from this blunder. If they don't, we might see them trying to make another bad movie based on, I don't know, what else? Based on Trouble or Sorry or Connect 4. Oh God, help us if they decide to do board game movies for a living. So yeah, that's pretty much it on my thoughts on the Battleship movie. I hope you guys enjoy my thoughts as much as you do. If you guys think either Battleship was bad or good on your taste, view me in the comments or video responses, and stay tuned for more of my videos, whether it be arcade walkthroughs or transformation videos or like not. See you around.